And so, it was with Kashmir.
Kashmir has had a history of being an independent kingdom, a sovereign state in every sense. And whosoever tried to control it, whether it was Mughals or the Afghans or the Sikhs or later the Dogras, has had problems,
Born when a sage trained a lake to make a home for a people. Draped in myth, recorded in the Puranas. Coveted by kings. Conquered by various religions and ideologies. Kashmir has always been a land of many legends. Among her famous visitors were Emperor Alexander and Ashoka. And scholars like Shankaracharya. Home to one of the subcontinent's greatest philosophers, the mystic Abhinavagupta, Kashmir has many stories to tell. Traces of its history can still be found in places like Buflias on the old Mughal road. Legend has it that this town that lies between Jammu and Srinagar gets its name from Emperor Alexander's horse Bucephalus, which is supposed to have been buried here. Buflias is just the local name for a very Greek horse. This is the story of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, a story across time, from Alexander the Great, the Sultans and the Sikhs, and many others in between, to the current times and its state of affairs today. It is said to have all begun with the sage Kashyapa, who drained a lake that covered the valley at Varamula or Baramula to make a home for his people. And so the name Kashyapa Mir or Kashmir. Another story goes that a certain king Jambu Lochan fell in love with the land while on a hunting trip near the river Tavi. He made it his home and founded a town in his own name, the town of Jambu, or Jammu as we call it today. Religion, like seasons, graced the valley at intervals. In the beginning, it was a well-known seat of Shaivism, an important pilgrimage for the followers of Shiva. And when Emperor Ashoka brought Buddhism to the valley, that flourished too, and both coexisted in harmony. Raj Tarangini, written by Kashmir's own historian Kalhana, records Buddhism as a prominent religion in the region and describes how it traveled from Kashmir over the mountains through Ladakh and Tibet to China, taken there by monks. At the same time, it remained an important center of Shaivism until the 14th century.
Whether you were a Mughal, a British colonial official on holiday, a Mongol on his way down to India, a Buddhist monk, all these people took their time and stopped in Kashmir. So in that period, in the 18th and 19th centuries, Kashmir played the same role that it had played since the time of Abhinavagupta and the early Shaivite period. This was always this zone of transition between China and India.
Sitting, as it were, in the shadow of the Himalayas, abundant in lakes, rivers and glaciers, Kashmir had always been a popular route into the subcontinent for traders, scholars and invaders, which was how Islam first appeared in the valley from over the Khyber Pass. And Shahamir, an immigrant from across the mountains, worked his way up to become king and establish the first Muslim dynasty, the Sultan dynasty, which lasted till the 16th century. This was also the dynasty that made Islam the prominent religion in the valley, with some of its rulers even using political clout to enforce it. On the bright side, this was also the period when Sheikh Nuruddin Nurani, or Nanda Rishi, Kashmir's own patron saint, had lived in the valley. He introduced the land to a homegrown form of Sufism that preached and practiced coexistence. As Islam was not the only faith in the land, this lesson of tolerance and inclusivity became what would be sung by bards, quoted by poets, and internalized by a whole people as Kashmiriyat. To this day, Nanda Rishi's tomb in the town of Charari Sharif remains an important center of pilgrimage across faiths. Kashmiriyat. Here was a state of mind and a way of life that meant respecting all religious traditions and celebrating festivals of all faiths.